Well, welcome to our 2024 sale preview video. On behalf of my wife Pat, the whole crew that works here at M.C.Quantock, I want to welcome you, and we're going to try and enjoy this beautiful mid-December weather in Alberta. It's just crazy, but we are enjoying it. So our sale theme this year is "My heroes have always been cowboys, and still are, it seems." And you know, that sums up almost perfectly the industry that I've been so fortunate to work in my whole life. I'm really proud to be a cattleman. I'm proud of our industry, and I'm proud of the customers we deal with. Every day in Canada, millions of dollars worth of cattle trade hands on a handshake and a man's word. And if you stop and think about that for a minute, there is no other place or industry where that happens anymore. Ranchers and farmers are solid, salt-of-the-earth people, underappreciated in general, old school in their thinking, and harder working than most. And now we'll take advantage of this great day and run all these bulls up the alley for you, pen by pen, trying to let you have a good look at all the bulls we have on offer. Our Red Angus bulls are developed from mainstream maternal lineage. We've stared birth weight in the eye and backed it down. Our discipline program has for years never compromised birth weight, thriftiness, or vigor. We've bred moderate frames, good cow traits, easy keeping, and light to moderate birth weights into each and every bull we sell. Ours are reliable, predictable bulls, ideal for crossbreeding, with volumes of bulls for heifers and bigger, stouter bulls for cows. The offering features all 2-year-old bulls. We've harnessed the best of both breeds. Incredibly beefy, thick bulls, they pack awesome pay weight on disciplined, moderate frames. They have all the convenience of Red Angus, moderate, consistent birth weights, easy fleshing. They'll hold their condition in the tough going, and on feed they're quick fleshers with bold hybrid performance. The Simmental blood gives them that essential touch of continental muscle you need today, as well as adding milk and growth to the blend. They'll add milk and muscle, and they're right sized to give you no calving problems or management nightmares. All the good old-time Angus traits: volume, beefiness, quick fleshing, dependable and durable. Ours are easy fleshing black genetics, yet they still have frame and length. Just like our Red Angus, our blacks are light at birth and really grow when it counts. Angus convenience, the black color, and no darn trouble. Our black Super Baldies are big, soggy 2-year-olds. They'll add milk and muscle and are right size to give you no calving problems or management nightmares. Beautiful Angus-type calves with more snap, muscle, and hair to sire those market-topping blacks. The same great crossbreeding machines as our red Super Baldies, but black. A perfect option on black-based cows, Herefords, or semi-crosses. Blacks with a touch of exotic muscle, growth, and milk. Our H2s are Hereford Fleckvey composites, real beef makers, loaded maternally and bred to simplify and sustain the Hereford Simmental influence in our customers' herds. Enough age to breed a lot of cows, solid maternal genetics, and bottom line performance. These potent bulls are being used on Hereford Simmental cows as well as black and red Baldie cows with great success. Any way you fit them into your program, they'll make money. Our Hereford bulls are broad-topped, deep-sided bulls packed full of natural thickness on moderate frames. Trouble-free, you bet. Our Herefords have been selected for years for good udders you never have to touch because you don't have the time and you don't need the hassle. Use our Hereford bulls to add the good Hereford traits your dad took for granted. Deep, thick hair coats, easy keeping that'll get by without the barley bin, and dispositions that make cows a pleasure to handle, not an ordeal. Use our Herefords to add the British blood to those exotic cows. Our Super Guppy bulls are a great crossbreeding option. The Guelph have the carcass, the early sexual maturity, and the growth. The Red Angus blood provides a hair, thriftiness, and fleshing ability while moderating birth weight and makes them smooth-polled. Use our Guelph Red Angus bulls as a third option in any crossing program. Maximize your hybrid vigor. Our customers just love a little Guelph on the cow side. Our objective in Charolais bulls is to provide our customers bulls that maximize the Charre cross advantage in their feeder calves and minimize any problems. Our bulls are thick bulls, but they're still smooth bulls. They have the rapid early growth which you all need, but the 2-year-olds will not get too big. Our Charolais have very moderate birth weights, unquestionable soundness, They deliver what you ask for. Lots of hair, so you can sell those deep-coated, good-doing tan or silver calves and top the market. We offer 8 different bull lines. All are volume produced, available in large numbers and uniform quality, and at a reasonable price. We offer an unconditional bull warranty, comprehensive performance data, free delivery, $150 bull development, and a sight-unseen purchase plan. Our sale this year features 400 fresh virgin 2-year-olds, 70 red Angus, 65 red Super Baldies, 75 black Super Baldies, 70 black Angus, 35 Herefords and H2s, 30 Super Guppies, and 50 Charolais. Okay, the first group we're going to get to look at this really warm morning in Alberta are our Red Angus summer 2-year-old bulls. We're going to show you 3 pens of these great young bulls. Again, to remind you, these are May-June born bulls, so young 2-year-olds. Summered on grass and been in our lot here since end of October. So we'll walk them around and try to let you have a look at them. You need to appreciate in these bulls that bull after bull after bull, they're all just the same type of bull, you know, really balanced, really deep-bodied, really thick. Ross will just turn them around and head them back this way, and we'll be able to see a few of them individually. But you know, our selection priority in the Red Angus, of course, they walk down the middle and fill the maternal side of the cow business, and they're such a popular crossbreeding option. Hard to believe that when we started, and we were one of Canada's pioneer Red Angus breeders in the 60s, you had to explain to people what a Red Angus was, and now they're just such a massive part of the cattle industry. So these we're really proud of these bulls. You know, they have really moderate birth weights. I mean, the birth weights on these bulls will just about all be in the 80-pound range. We're going to look at 3 pens of these bulls, and fully 35% of the bulls we're going to look at came out of first calf heifers. So we'll let them stand here. It's different for us not having to chase them out of the snow, but there is our Pen 1 Red Angus summer 2-year-old bulls. And these are ranch bulls, you know. I mean, gosh, you know, there's no purebred fluff here. They're raised all summer on grass, you know, and in the fall we start to give them some of our bull development pellet and then bring them to the lot. So there's Pen 1 Red Angus summer 2s. And this probably is a little on the younger end of these bulls. Ross will just move these bulls out and we'll bring another group up for you. Here is Pen 2 Red Angus summer 2s. Again, many of the same sires represented as in the first pen. A lot of these bulls out of first calf heifers. Birth weights in the 80-pound range, and still bulls that even though there are lots and lots of 70-pound birth weight bulls here and you can feel comfortable using them on your heifers, they darn sure don't look like heifer bulls. I mean, these bulls, you know, are thick and meaty and deep-bodied and balanced. Conformationally, we made them as good as we can make them. They're just pretty solid. I'll let them slowly drift by you here and have a good look. These bulls will slow down a little bit here as we kind of move them back and forth. These bulls are accustomed to being handled on foot, as well as, you know, when we're moving cattle here on the ranch, we do use horses, but certainly all summer these bulls are on a rotational grazing system where they're moved every other day, and they're moved with a man on foot, so they get really used to folks being really close to them. When you walk through these pens in our bull lot now, you know, lots of these bulls want to come up and chew on your pant leg. I mean, they're just that quiet, so. But, you know, the pictures will show it, but these bulls have tremendous girth and volume and body and lots of pay weight for their age. They are May and June born bulls here, so not older 2-year-olds. And when you buy, you know, bulls here, I mean, we do not sell any yearling bulls, so you are buying from the whole calf crop of bulls. They're not top sorted. The 2-year-olds are not the ones that were left over, you know, so I'll send these guys past us again. There's pen 2, Red Angus Summer 2s. Here's the third and last pen of these Red Angus 2-year-old bulls we're going to look at. This would be a bit on the older edge for age, but by older I mean no calves born before the 10th of May. Again, some big pay weight and power bulls here, but bulls that still, you know, you'd be hard pressed to find many bulls over 90 pounds in the sale. Even bulls like this, these big strong power bulls that'll go out to breed cows, you know, they're still very moderate, down the middle of the road for birth weight. And still, you know, these bulls spend their summer on grass, don't get supplemental feed till later in season, and you know, they're just the kind of cattle that, you know, when you challenge them with a little feed, they'll put the weight on very quickly. Most of the sires here are internally produced, and by that I mean we raise most of the herd sires we use here on the ranch. Always buying the odd new outside bull to give us a bit of outcross genetics, but for the most part, these Red Angus genetics are quite a lot different than you'll buy lots of other places, just because of our line breeding program and the fact that, you know, we've been at this since the late 60s. So this pen has some of our bigger, more powerful cow bulls in it. See here, lots of these bulls at 18 months weights are, you know, pushing 17, which is kind of where we want them to be. You know, lots of pay weight and power, but not a lot, not a tremendous amount of excess frame. My dad always told me that it's not how big they get, but it's how quick they get big. And that always rattles around in the back of my brain, so. As I say, we're really proud of our Red Angus program. If you had told me when I started that we would be able to breed this much power, performance, and uniformity into our cattle and keep the birth weights so moderate and consistent, I would have found that hard to believe, but the genetics are there to do it, and that's what these bulls do. Try to keep as much hair coat in these Angus bulls as we can, because hair is a commodity that makes us all money. So there goes pen 3 Red Angus Summer 2s.
Just want to give a little shout out to all our American customers. In the last number of years, we've sold bulls into 8 or 10 states. We certainly look after everything. We'll get them all tested. These bulls are all guaranteed exportable. We'll organize all the transport, so you don't have to worry about that. These bulls, this type of bull probably aren't available in lots of parts of the U.S. where you come from, bulls with this much body and girth and thickness. So we certainly welcome your interest, and just call me anytime, and we can certainly talk about bulls. Okay, I want to visit with you for a minute about our popular Sight Unseen program. We've done this for years. We will sell 30 to 40% of our bulls to satisfied customers across Canada. We start out by visiting with you, discussing your requirements, and you and I will talk through bull choices. Once you've had a chance to look at the catalog, the photos, and the DVD together, we will make a short list of bulls that we would consider for your order within your budget. Sale time comes, we sell our bulls from the best bulls to the lesser bulls within each breed. So we're always trying to buy the best bull we can for our customer. If we miss on the first choice, we'll move to the second and so on. But we will absolutely never bid on or buy a bull that you and I haven't carefully pre-selected as being suitable. Now, the important part of this program is after the sale, when we deliver the bull, you have to be completely satisfied when you see him at your location on your ranch, and that's when you pay for him. As I said, we will absolutely never exceed your budget. In most cases, we will deliver bulls under budget. Most important, we don't want you to pay for the bull until you have actually seen him yourself and you're satisfied. And as we're putting together all these lists of pre-selected bulls for your order, we can shoot you individual pictures of certain bulls. We can do whatever it takes to tune your order to the right bulls for your ranch. Now we're going to take a minute and take a good look at some of our great hybrid bulls. We in fact devote 500 cows on the ranch to the production of our hybrid bulls. We are one of the biggest seed stock producers in the country. We do register probably more cattle than most through all our breeds, but we are darn sure the biggest hybrid bull producer in the country. Our hybrid bulls have been an industry success story over 25 years. We take this very seriously. We invest substantial amounts of money in the herd sires. They're purebred on both sides. We move good cows from the purebred side to the hybrid production side. If you're going to make a good hybrid, you got to use good genetics on both sides. You can find some hybrid bulls around the country, but they're the byproduct of some purebred breeder's heifer program or just some cows he doesn't want to breed purebred. Here we devote good cows to making good hybrid bulls for our customers, and it shows. And now we'll look at some of our red Super Baldie bulls. We're going to look at a couple pens of these great young bulls. Again, born May and June here on the ranch, produced out of the middle of our purebred Red Angus cow herd. Fleckvay sired on the top side, purebred Angus sired on the bottom side. So we'll walk these bulls past you. Hard to believe that we're shooting this video in late December, just before Christmas. And for Alberta to be this mild, it's kind of nice to enjoy, but it's kind of creepy in a way. It's not what we normally have, so we'll try to swing these bulls past you and let you have a look. Sometimes, because of the way the weather is, we do get some shadow in some of these bulls, but they, at least they're not clumped up, and they're able to stride out and you can have a look at them. So. These bulls, as we say in our advertising, they offer the best of both breeds. When the customers that use these bulls, and there are a lot of them. I mean, we've sold between 70 and 90 of them every year for years, and the repeat customer percentage is very high on them. The day the calves are born by these bulls, they look almost like an Angus calf. But as soon as, you get a little more age on them, they get 6 weeks old, you'll see they got the muscle and the top in them. And just the things you need to get your feeder calves sold really, really well. And the other great thing that these bulls offer is just that little magic shot of Simmental on the cow side to give you a little more milk. Of course, Red Angus Simmental females are just about the most popular cross in our country here. Every year in our Super Sisters sale, those nice red strip face heifers are certainly the ones that top the sale. So there's pen one, kind of on the younger end of our red Super Baldie bulls, and then we'll show you a pen just a touch older bulls coming next. Okay, here is pen 2 red Super Baldies. There's some big pay, weight, and power here. These cattle are still very down the middle of the road in terms of birth weight. You know, moderate, consistent birth weights. These bulls will be 85 to just over 90 pounds in birth. Still with the massive girth and thickness that our cattle all have. You'll notice a few scurs on some of these bulls comes through the old Fleckvay sires. Scurs don't show up till these bulls get over a year old, so you know, certainly on your calf side, they won't present any problem as you go to sell them. They're not horns, they're just scurs. This is all they've ever grown, and doesn't really present an economic problem. It's just they're in the genetics, but the genetics are so darn good, we got to continue to use them. So, love the hair coat on these bulls. Love that little touch of continental muscle that you know, helps get your calves sold and kind of makes your replacement heifers the envy of your neighbors. These bulls have been so successful. I mean, we started them 27 years ago with yearling bulls and developed over time to these May 2s, and you know, they've just been incredibly successful. You can admire the depth and girth and thickness of these bull after bull, and these bulls are consistent. You know, that's one thing years ago when we started the hybrids. You know, everyone said, oh, they'll not be consistent. Well, I tell you, you know, you look at these bulls, they're consistent in type, bull after bull after bull. They're consistent in birth weight. They're grass calved out of British breed cows. They're just a real industry success story, and you can't buy very many of them anywhere else.
Many of these great hybrid bulls will sell through our Sight Unseen program. It's described elsewhere in our video and in all our printed sale materials. It works exceptionally well. We'll sell 40 to 45% of the bulls Sight Unseen. So these great bulls are available to you. It doesn't matter where you live in the country. Okay, I want to take a minute just to tell you a little bit about how we manage our cow herd here at M.C.Quantock. We maintain a big cow herd, about 1,000 mature cows, and we manage them just like you would manage a big commercial herd to minimize our time and our cost. Our cows all calve on grass in May and June. We have one man calving a group of about 200 cows. He comes once a day. He rides them or drives them. He tags and weighs all the calves, and then he goes, and he doesn't come back for another 24 hours. So it's like I've always told people that calving is what our cows do. It's not what we do. These cows at this time are not fed, and this is in May and June. We manage so that we have stockpiled grass in May and June for those cows to go to, and they rustle during this time frame. We do not feed them during calving. We get to late June, we start to sort and pair out all these cattle into our breeding fields. We sort and pair out on horseback. Gives you the best look at every cow, feet, udder, legs, how good a job is she doing with her calf. Almost all those cows will go on a liner going somewhere. Our pastures are spread over 150 miles with us in the middle, so just about every cow gets on a cattle liner going somewhere. I joke with people that we're road ranchers. You show our old cows a chute and they're going to load themselves because they think they're going to better grass. So once they're in the breeding fields, on August the 1st, we turn the bulls out. We use all natural service, some of it multi-sire and DNA evaluated now. We breed for 60 days. Bulls come up the 1st of October. Cows will stay out on grass as long as they can. From late October through mid-November, we'll wean all those little calves, and they're pretty young, but that's what works for our management system. We'll wean them group by group, trying to leave the cows behind, bring the calves home and wean them. Then as those cows come home in the fall, some will make a short stop at the ranch for weaning.
Others are already weaned, and they go to standing corn, and they spend the winter on standing corn, managed in groups of 200 cows per quarter section. Our goal is 200 cow days per acre, and that affords a very cheap way to winter these cows. Then, as we get closer to springtime, these cows are pulled up, sorted into breed groups, and moved to our calving fields, and the whole process starts over. So corn to grass, grass to corn. Try not to haul any feed. Don't haul any manure. We just try to keep it as simple as we possibly can. I read once that as soon as you put a diesel fuel or machinery between a cow's mouth and what she's going to eat, it does nothing but cost you money, and I really think that's true. So we run a big cow herd. It's seed stock cows. Every cow's a registered purebred, but it's a whole lot different than what most people think of as a purebred operation. These cows are raised very commercial oriented to bring you bulls that are the same way, that are going to go out and they're not pampered. There's no purebred fluff. These bulls are going to just go out and do the job. And here's the black ones. This is our black Angus summer 2-year-old bulls. We're going to show you a couple pens of these bulls. Again, the ranch runs just about as many black cows now as it does red cows. Use a lot of black cows in the hybrid production too. Oh, these guys are feeling good today. It's a field trip for these bulls. They get to come out of the lot and run up the alley, and I'm sure it breaks the boredom. So we're getting a pretty good look at these black bulls today. Sometimes in the sunshine it's hard to get the definition, but this is maybe a little on the younger sort of these black bulls, but again, the same selection priorities as our reds and our other cattle. Volume, beefiness, thickness, moderation in birth weight. We haven't been in the black business quite as long as the red business, but having said that, it's getting close to 25 years. So, we've made these cattle more uniform continually by using more and more of our own genetics. So we really know what's behind them, and you use cattle that are produced on the ranch. You know what the mamas look like, and you don't make any mistakes in your genetics, because it's a long-term project, and you got to have good ones every year. So you can really see that these bulls are black bulls, like the Angus breed is famous for. They're deep, thick, easy fleshing. Just kind of what we would call soggy red Angus, soggy black Angus bulls, pardon me. Kind of had a love affair with black cows ever since the 60s, when we started our red herd by AIing black cows to red bulls. And it was a long-term project, but I think it helped our program in the long term. So as I said, lots of June bulls in here, and again, same as with our reds, probably at least a third of these bulls are out of first calf heifers. We'll move these guys out and bring in the second pen of these black twos. Again, it's just incredible to believe that this is just before Christmas in Alberta. Pen 2. Again, these bulls a little bit older, but still no bulls born before the 10th of May. So they're summer 2s. You get to select from the whole calf crop. It's not like going somewhere where they sell yearlings and sell 2s, and you know darn well that the 2s are the ones that they didn't sell a year ago or didn't look quite as good a year ago. So here they're all fresh virgin 2-year-olds. Bull after bull after bull, and bull after bull after bull, they all look the same. You can really put together packages of bulls that are similar. Lots of half-brothers, lots of brothers out of mothers that are sisters. And that's how we get them to look so uniform. Again, saves a little time here. The last several years we've been handling these bulls through the video on horseback. Just saves the men having to run so far, and the bulls are used to both. As I say, they summer on grass where we're there moving them every other day, and all winter we don't pen check on horseback, we pen check on foot. So these bulls, you go in the pens with them now, you can just about scratch a lot of these bulls there. They'll come up and visit with you, and you know, our genetics are quiet. That's an important economic trait, and everybody's got families that help in the beef business, so it's important that we always consider that. Okay, these bulls are being pretty nice to us today. They're not huddled in the corner. They're letting us have a good look at them. You can, again, appreciate the type of bulls that they are, and every bull's the same pretty much. There's little differences in performance, but you can sure buy a package of bulls out of here that'll sire a uniform set of calves. We use our blacks to produce our black semi-bulls. A good number of our black cows get used there, and the cows get moved back and forth between the black side and the hybrid side of our production. Of course, we use about 500 purebred cows to produce our hybrid bulls, so a lot of our seed stock purebred bulls come out of first and second calvers, and so they're the freshest, best genetics that we have. I'll try and step back and let you kind of admire the kind of bulls that they are. I just love looking at bulls that are this uniform. Gonna send them out, and that's pen 2 of summer 2-year-old black Angus.
I want to take a minute and just explain why our sale is not online. First of all, logistically, we've got to sell 400 bulls in one afternoon. Our auction staff will tell us that if we put this sale online, it'll take us another couple hours to get those bulls sold, because they will constantly be always waiting a little bit for the internet. So that's a logistical problem. The second thing is, we have bought cattle online, and we have bought herd bulls online, and it is very, very difficult to evaluate all the little things that you need to evaluate when you're buying bulls online. We prefer to get involved with our customer, spend the time talking to them. I'll spend lots of time with each customer going through bull choices till I get a really good feel for what they're looking for. And then between the two of us, we make a short list of the bulls that they're interested in, and we buy them on our Sight Unseen program. And over time, we found that has led to more satisfied customers. Online is great. It certainly opens it up to a lot of people, but in our situation, it's just very, very difficult to accomplish.
Okay, so here's our black Super Baldie bulls. They've highlighted our sale for the last few years for sure. Our black Baldie bulls produced right here, same as all our other lines of bulls. Every bull in this sale is ranch produced on the ranch. No cooperators anywhere in this whole program. So we'll try to chase these guys out of the sunshine here so you can have a good look. But we're going to look at 2 pens of these black Baldie bulls. Again, we've been in the red Baldie bull business a little longer, but we now produce as many or more black Baldie bulls as we do red Baldie bulls. Again, in our heifer sale, these black strip-faced heifers with lots of hair and volume are sure the most popular ones. We'll move these bulls around a little bit. These are great crossbreeding machines, you know. You want to add, if you have black cows, or you want to add, you know, a little exotic muscle and snap. The best black calves that sell every fall are the ones that the buyers can tell have a little bit of something else in them, eh? So that little shot of Simmental, that little shot of continental muscle will just make those blacks, you know, a little stronger and a little more powerful. These cattle, of course, are all, you know, grass, ranch calved. You know, we're there every day, but only once a day. tag and weigh them. The birth weights on these bulls are, again, much like the reds. They're, you know, high 80s, low 90s. Love to keep the performance and power in these bulls. I'd love to make them all strip face, but that's just not how they come. So we've got some of these bulls now, which are homo black or double black bulls, sired by, some of them are sired by black semi bulls, not just the fleck bulls. So some customers like it either way. So again, we're gonna roll these bulls by you and let you have a look. You know, we get, you know, some solid colored bulls in both the red and the black. The reality is you're going to get some star-faced calves and strip-faced calves out of either using the strips, the stars, or the solid colored bulls. So again, they got all the Angus convenience, but just a little more snap and muscle, and very, very popular bulls. Here is Pen 2 Black Super Baldie bulls. Again, this is a touch older, but as I said in the other breeds, no calves born before the 10th of May. And a nice fresh set of bulls, not picked over at all. You know, at one time we sold some yearling bulls that were of this Black Baldie line that were cooperator produced, and they in fact started our whole Black Baldie program, but now we produce them all on the ranch out of our own purebred cows. Again, you'll notice a few skurs in this coming through the old fleck-vase side of things. Again, not pretty, but not an economic problem. This is, you know, all the horn that bull grew, and when they're baby calves, you don't even see it when you go to sell your calves. So the inheritance of skurs and horns is well understood, but a lot of people aren't familiar with it, and in our catalog there's a really good description of the inheritance of horned or pulled. I urge you to read that, and it kind of lets you understand it a little better. So we're going to move these bulls across and back through here. Again, when you go to sell your calves, that little bit of snap and muscle, you know, if the buyer's sitting up in the stands and he can see the broad tops and muscle on those calves, that really helps get them sold. The day these calves are born, you cannot tell them from Angus calves, hardly. They're really Angus type, they're born easily. You know, we're only there once a day to calve them, and they're British cows calving to exotic bulls, and it doesn't seem to be a problem at all. So these bulls will, you know, just like our red Baldie bulls, we tell people they're an industry success story. We've been making them for 25 years and sell them to a very high percentage of repeat customers.
I want to spend a minute just to talk about how our bulls are developed, because ours are a little different. We develop bulls a little different than most folks. We calve our cows from mid-May till the first week in July. All our calving is done on grass with minimal attention. No calving barns or cameras here. So the bulls are born, they get tagged and weighed, and we ride them once a day. Come to fall, the bulls are weaned in November. Those bulls are weaned and wintered in big groups on a silage-based ration. And by spring, the bulls are well grown out, but they're not fleshy. They're just in perfect condition to take advantage of our grass. At that point, we sort them into groups of 30 to 50 bulls, and those are the groups they'll be with right through till sale time. The bulls are then moved in late May or early June to our management-intensive grazing paddocks, where those bulls are moved every other day all summer long. The bulls get fresh grass every other day,
pasture then is good all summer. Those bulls can gain weight really well, and they get quite accustomed to men on foot, moving them every day. We supply our water with solar systems or surface piped fresh water. As the summer progresses, the bulls are supplemented with a low energy, high protein pellet, which is made to our specifications. It's built out of pea and lentil hulls. It's got a mineral vitamin pack in it. It's just to help develop these bulls and bring them along properly. The nutrient constituent of that pellet is about like good alfalfa hay. So when fall comes and the surface water freezes in late October, we bring the bulls to our bull lots, and the bulls then go on what we call our TMR ration, which is a total mixed ration based on silage. And the great advantage of that ration is that every mouthful that the bull takes, he gets the right blend of all the nutrients he needs. He can't just binge on grain and not eat enough roughage. So it is the perfect way to raise these bulls. We don't feed any barley or coarse grain. Even in our TMR ration, our bulls are on our bull development pellet. We believe these summer-born bulls are just the ideal age, and we develop these bulls to maintain their soundness and longevity over time. All our rations and protocols have been developed over years of experience to bring you the most durable bulls possible. And here's our grade H2 bulls. These are Hereford Fleckvey composite bulls produced from our Hereford cows and full-blood Fleckvey bulls. Again, this is part of the white-faced division on the ranch. We actually produce more hybrid H2 bulls now than Hereford bulls, and use more of our Hereford cows to make these bulls than we do to make Hereford bulls. So what we have found is that these H2 bulls will just do everything that a Hereford bull can to a large extent, and they just have that essential little touch of Simmental muscle. The daughters will have a touch more milk than a straight Hereford. You can see these bulls coming by. They're muscly, they're thick bulls. Again, they're May and June born bulls. We really try to get as much pigment as we can in these bulls, but a lot of these bulls now will go out to breed black cows. And of course, when the cow's black, the eye pigment is not as important, but we certainly use Simmental sires that are all pigmented. If you're buying these bulls on order or you're here, we can tell you which bulls are pigmented, which bulls aren't, if that's a concern to you. But as I say, for most folks on the solid colored red or black cows, the pigment is not that great a concern, and actually sometimes the best buying is on the bulls that are not pigmented. They'll always sell for a little less money. We're putting the polled gene in some of these bulls now. We're getting a few more polled bulls all the time. It's just very, very hard to buy really good homozygous polled fleck bulls. The good ones, all fleck bulls cost a lot of money, and the homozygous polled ones cost a lot more. But these bulls have been produced here for just about 20 years, and they've been it's just awful easy to sell people their second H2 bulls. So Ross will just move these guys down the alleyway here. Nice to wear your cowboy hat at the end of December, eh? So our sale is old school. Every bull goes through the ring. I tell folks, if you spent the last number of years squinting at a video screen trying to figure out what that bull really looks like, then it's time to come to a real bull sale and watch them all march through the ring live. We'll move at a pace of about 45 to 50 seconds a bull all day. So if it's on your bucket list, you should come. And here's the breed that started it all, I guess, for me anyway. They were here when I got here, and my dad was a Hereford breeder, as was almost everyone else in those days. My grandfather was a shorthorn breeder, and then as we went along, we diversified a little bit. These Hereford bulls are decidedly different than a lot of them. We don't produce many of them anymore because so many of our Hereford cows are used on the H2 production side. but you know, you can just appreciate these Hereford bulls for their depth and thickness and hair and fleshing ability. They are not as big framed as a lot of bulls you'll find in the country, but they have more thickness, they have more quarter, they're very modern. They are built for the crossbreeding world. You know, and Herefords now work really well as a cross because so many cows don't have any Hereford left in them. So we love to put the pigment in them if we can. A lot of the sires we use, we try to make sure they're pigmented. Again, we're using all sires on the Hereford side now that we produced here on the ranch. We stayed with the horn genetics just because we have a great deal of difficulty finding the polled genetics that look like this. You know, we deliberately don't want these Hereford bulls to be great, big, tall bulls. Our Hereford cows are not really big rank Hereford cows. You know, the Hereford breed, in my view, got a little sidetracked for a while. Breeders are doing a good job now, but it's, you know, not easy to make Hereford bulls that look like this. Okay, and here's another of our composite line of bulls. These are what we call super guppy bulls. They're Angus, red and black Angus Guelph hybrid bulls. The industry now calls them balancers. I tell people you can call them whatever you like. We've been making them for 25 years before most people even thought about it. So these are Guelph hybrid bulls produced using purebred homozygous polled Guelph bulls on our black and red cows. We don't have as many black bulls this year, so we've just run them with the reds, but boy, we sure got some good ones. And I don't care what color you painted that bull, he's just pretty impressive. He's just powerful and girthy. He's one of the heaviest bulls in the whole auction, and he is a black Guelph hybrid. 2759. Certainly, the Guelph add a lot maternally. They have always been popular to the people that use them, and we're seeing a little increased interest all the time in these Guelph hybrid bulls. People wanting a third option in a crossing program, keep the cattle the same as our Baldie cattle, but add another breed to mix up their genetics, or not mix it up, but to bump up their hybrid vigor. So again, there's these powerful black bulls are always standing in front there, but we got some powerful red bulls. Certainly we got some powerful black bulls. Our Guelph numbers are down a little this year, a few more heifers of course, and we didn't turn as many cows that way in the spring, but really an extremely good set of Guelph hybrid bulls. People love the Guelph on the cow side. You know, they are the one continental breed that if you read all the data from the early 70s and 80s, the research that was done in the U.S., they probably have, you know, better documented fertility than almost all the other continental breeds. This is big, powerful black Guelph bull. Kind of a bit of a camera hog too, but he's a tank. Again, these bulls, of course, produced out of the purebred cows, right out of the middle of the herd. So we're only going to show you one pen of those bulls, but that's the Guelph hybrid bulls. Super Guppies, as we call them. Okay, now we're going to show you two pens of Charolais bulls. These are kind of a bit on the younger end, this pen of bulls. Again, our Charolais, we bred just about 200 Charolais females on the ranch this year, so it's an increasing part of the program. These bulls are, you know, raised unlike almost all Charolais bulls. I mean, these bulls are May-June born. When we got into the Charolais business where we were going to run them ourselves, we decided that they had to perform like the Angus cattle and like the Hereford cattle here on the ranch, so we manage them exactly the same way. They're grass calved. Some years we've calved these cows 70 miles from home. I tell Cody, my son, who has responsibility for this program, that, boy, you're probably the only Charolais guy that I know that calves his cows that way. But I think it's important. We really watch the birth weights on these bulls. Most of these bulls are in the 90s. But the thing that strikes you when you go into our Charolais 2-year-old pen is these bulls all got hair. We drive thousands of miles every spring looking for Charolais herd sires, and if we could find a pen of bulls that had this much hair, we'd think we'd found a mother lode, and here they are right in front of us. They're very moderate, these bulls. As I say, they'll get big quick, but they won't get too big. The birth weights are in line. The conformation is good. Beautiful hair, depth of body. Most of them are polled now. We still got some horn genetics, but all the new sires we're using are all homo-polled bulls. So we're trying to make them as polled as we can get them. We're going to move these bulls past. I really like this pen of bulls. I just admire the thickness, the moderation, the depth, and the hair, and all the things that we've tried over 20 years to put into Charolais. We're getting close here. Here's our last pen of bulls we're going to look at this morning. These are more Charolais 2-year-old bulls. Some are born again. No bulls before the 10th of May. These bulls are, again, enjoying being out of the pen, so they're going to take them a minute to decide to stop running around here. But again, we produce these bulls. Well, they're summered on grass, so certainly not dry lot fed or anything all summer. They are on a rotational grazing system just like the rest of our bulls. Try and push these guys out of the corner here and let you look. These bulls are thick. They got the pay weight, but they don't have the extreme frame and the rankness that you'll see in a lot of Charolais bulls. They'll just go out and work on those cows, and particularly the British cross cows, and give you those tan calves that have just rung the bell at the market in the last number of years. So much so. And the thing that I tell people is you will drive miles and miles to find Charolais 2-year-old bulls that have this much hair coat. And that literally guarantees you that those tan and silver calves and crossbred calves are going to be those big, deep-coated, hairy calves that'll top the market. The birth weights are moderate here, mostly in the 90s. Some of these bulls in the 80s, the ones out of our heifers. But very important part of it is to make these Charolais so they're really management simple, so they're not any harder to calve than any other breed of cattle. And we think we've largely accomplished that. We certainly, as I say, we're only there once a day, and the cold hard reality is if the calf was too big, he might not be alive by now. So that's pen 2, Charolais 2s. Just look at the thickness going out of there.
The older I get, you spend a little more time thinking, and I think how lucky we really are to be able to live in this country with everything we've got and all the opportunity we've got. I've always at this part of our video ranted about the government, and I think the level of incompetence is just staggering, and everyone's come to realize that now. We've got these climate-obsessed crazies who have been running our country and just about have squandered 10 years of the nation's best potential. But there is some light on the horizon now. I think, people are kind of getting back to their common sense, and I think we'll get rid of these goofies, and maybe this country can function like it's supposed to, and we can get back to doing the things that made it a great country to start with. So that concludes our look at this year's sale offering for our big January the 27th sale. As I've said, our sale's old school. They all go through the ring one bull at a time. So if you've never been, it'd be worth the trip. We'll serve a beef lunch at 11 o'clock. And remember, if the weather's not like this, it's all in indoor heated comfort. You and your family can look at them in your shirt sleeves. So that's the 27th of January, the M.C.Quantock Canada's Bulls Bull Sale, Lloydminster.